DBSCG things.
What is up, Yuhp gang? It's your boy Texan and welcome back to Yuhp DBSCG things, and today we're bringing you another very exciting deck profile. This is going to be one that you guys asked for through the comments of my videos, Red Blue Soul Striker. But before we get into it, guys, I do want to say if you want any custom mats and or sleeves, absolutely check out ProMats, guys. Best place to go get your custom card needs. Link will be in the description below for you guys to go check them out. And also on the screen now that you can see that they are holding a monthly tournament via Discord at the second weekend of every single month with some great prizing here. You can win some ProMat mats, TCG medal leaders, and also some booster boxes. So make sure that if this is something you're interested in, you use the link in the description below to go to the Discord and join this if you want to. With that being said, guys, if you like this deck profile or my content in general, make sure you smash all those buttons for me, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload a video. And with that being said, let's turn this around and show you the deck. Alrighty, you guys, here's the deck. Now let's go over it. Starting off, first things first, we always got to talk about the leader. When you attack with it, you draw a card, or you get to choose one of your mono blue energies and switch it to active mode. And then your awakening skill is at 4 or less life, or if you have a blue unison in play with a specified cost of 3, you get to draw 2 and flip them over. Backside, you swing, draw a card, and then choose 2 of your mono blue energy and switch them to active. And then additionally, at the end of every single one of your turns, you get to choose your blue energy and switch it, or blue unison and switch it to active mode. Since this deck relies so heavily on the unisons to awaken itself, you run 3 of the baby, the unknown parasite. This card's pretty much staple if you're going to be playing Soul Striker. You plus 2, you draw a card. Activate main, -5. This is probably the coolest part about the card. You're going to give your leader 15k in double strike for the duration of the turn, and then until the start of your next turn, you can activate your counter skills from your hand for free if you just choose to discard 2 of your cards from hand instead. Next unison up, that's going to awaken our leader, SS Gogeta, SS3. This guy, dual attacker 20k, really good. His permanent's also really good if you have a blue, sand, and rest mode in your battle area. Your leader just won't take damage, so it's a cool way to make your opponent forced into a situation where they have to work around cards. Also, the activate main is pretty good for spot removal, just using 2 of your opponent's battle cards and bouncing them back to their hands. So we run a 3-2 split on those guys. Honestly, I'd run 3-3, but I can't find any more Gogetas. 2 Majin Buu. Honestly, you just don't play blue without this card. For 4 energy, it comes out double strike blocker, ±0. You draw a card. At the start of your opponent's next main phase, you stand a mono blue energy and him up to active mode. Your leader untaps him anyways, but yeah, you're gonna untap an energy with him. And you're -1 whenever your opponent attacks with a battle card. You get to choose a battle card and send it to the bottom of his deck. Very good card. Next up, since we play so many unisons, we are running 3 God Seal technique. Card is very necessary in the deck. Honestly, sometimes I wish I had 4 just because I run a heavier number of the deck. It's harder to see the cards because I don't run it at 4, so if I don't draw into it the time I need it, I kind of just don't have it. Great card. Very good at 3. Honestly, thinking about 4. 4 Dimension Magic. Just the best negate for blue, honestly. It's just sparking negate 2, so you can cast it for free by ripping a life. It's either a pay 1 or rip a life, stand 2 energy, negate the attack. Very good. Next up, we got Senzu Bean. This card, very solid. +5 to one of your cards, and then choose 2 of your energies and stand to active mode. Next up, we're running 2 Isekai Keeping Watch. I would have this card at 4, but unfortunately I'm running 2 copies of a different card, which I'll bring up later. That's just because I play best of 1 and we haven't introduced best of 1 side deck yet to our local. Next up, we are running 4 Sane Instincts. You just don't play Soul Striker without 4 of these cards at this point in the game. This card's going to be your best play when you're awakened. You just tap 2, move this from the drop to warp, you draw 2, swing lead, get those energy right back, and draw another card. Honestly, fantastic. So this is where we're going to be diving into the red-blue side of things. 4 Beerus Divine Obliterator. This guy is absolutely amazing. What you do is you combo with him, and then he untaps a red-blue when you combo with him on your opponent's turn, which allows you to easily use your arrivals. Speaking of arrivals, we got 4 copies of Hercule Boo and Hercule Boo Friends Forever. This guy is a rival blue. That's why I chose around 4 of them, because it costs a blue to play him. And honestly, I don't run check lands, so I only normally charge 1 to 2 red blue a game. So this guy, just being that he costs a blue energy, is easier to use him. When this guy is played, you draw a card and then you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and minus it by 10,000 power. That's going to help you get out of attacks and also get rid of small little weenie threats on the field, and it replaces itself, so it's pretty nice. I run 3 of the cooler Tyrannical Salt. This guy costs a red, so he is a little bit more situational to get out because Beerus untaps the red-blue, which essentially you use for him, and then you use a blue to play him and re-pick up him. So like I said, it's more essential to have more copies of Boo than Cooler, because Cooler is going to cost you the 1 red energy that it's going to take to play him. So double strike, 20k, arrival for a red on a red-blue. This guy, when you play him, you get to choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier and minus them by 10,000 power, and then additionally you mill 1 from the top of their deck. That's very good, especially if you clutch hitting into something very spicy. Like you can mill a super combo, you can mill a secret rare, you can put all types of stuff into the drop area. Now for the main reason we are playing red-blue, Goku Rival Seeker. This card essentially also is combo power to help you rival these guys out, but he also has an activate main, so you play him for 3 energy, and then you have an activate main. If you have 5 or more energy, you get to choose 2 red-blue multicolored extra cards and add them to your hand, and then if you do, you play a 6-drop Goku from your hand on top of them. Your 6-drop Goku target is going to be Ultra Instinct Son Goku Energy Explosion. This guy has Invoker. He's a 35k 6-drop, no protection, but if he is field, he's going to do a lot of damage. Auto, choose 1 card from your choose 3 cards from your energy, place them into the drop area when you play this card, and then choose 3 cards into your drop area and place them into your energy. Very, very strong. It does negate their energy exhaust with that effect, so you do get to pick up your red blues and shove them in there as well. Very, very strong. Also, additionally, on top of that, he does have an auto. Whenever a damage is dealt to your opponent, you get to deal the extra 1. So that makes all your single strike damages, all your double strike damages 1 more. So like, let's say you're swinging double strike, that's a threat for a triple strike damage. You swing a single, that's a threat for a double strike damage. Now for Goku, obviously we need extra cards into the deck so that we can use his effect. Starting that off, we got Tyranny's Cost. This card is actually really good right now because so many decks draw so many cards. This guy costs 2 energy to use, but that's fine because your leader and your super combo are basically going to get you all your energy back. Tag along with Senzu Bean and Magic definitely does that. Draw 2 cards, and then if your opponent has 11 or more cards in their hand, they have to choose cards in their hand and shuffle them into their deck until they have 10 cards in their hand left. So that is a very powerful effect, and as you've seen in my match against King Piccolo last week, this card did a lot of work. I actually played one like every turn, like 2 or 3 turns in a row, and every turn he was getting rid of like 2 or more cards. So that was a very effective card. Next up, we have 2 Catastrophic Blow. This card has a limit 1 on it now, but basically, if you get this guy out, you can pay 1 to activate this card's effect, and then you're going to basically just double strike your opponent without having to swing. And most of the time, if you're going to use this, it's going to cut you the game. But if not, you got other game winners, obviously. I run 1 Emperor's Death Beam. This card's honestly really good. Being that we're playing a Soul Striker, red-blue, on a blue-heavy leader, we have so many ways to get 3 energy up. We can easily use this for 3 on our opponent's turn. And honestly, I was using this slot as the 3-cost Arrival Cooler. But I figured this card did the same thing as that Arrival Cooler, besides it didn't provide me the pressure that the triple striking cooler added. This card was uninteractable, so it felt good being able to get rid of problem cards, ignoring barrier, without my opponent being able to interact with the body coming in, because the cooler did cost 3 and it was easily counterplayed with other cards. So I just decided this card was better, and also once I use it, I can move it to the warp with its own effect, allowing me to use the Goku to do the Goku things. With that being said, to round off the red cards in the deck, we have 2 Topos. Everyone knows what Topo does. Negates the attack, and then if your opponent wants to attack for the turn, they have to discard 2. Best reason about him is because he discards a card from your hand when you use him. So best thing to discard with him is going to be like Cat Blow or Emperor's Death Beam, because once you do so, you can use an Overwhelmer, put these guys into your warp, or just use their own effect to put them into the warp, and that's the best way that you're going to be able to get this Goku's effect live so that you can play him. Also, once again, if you don't have these guys in hand, you can just go ahead and pitch the monkey. Next up, I'm running 2 Trunks Time Regulator. I honestly really like this card as a good option for the deck, in my opinion. So like I said, you need these cards in the Warp in order to use the Goku Rival Seeker's effect. This guy, when you play him, you'll overwhelm. So first off, whatever extra cards you have into the drop area then will go to your Warp. And then additionally, you draw 2 cards and then choose a card in your hand and warp it. So if you have a Cat Blow in your hand and you've already used your Topo and you haven't seen a second one to get Cat Blow into the drop area, you can use this guy for free. You overwhelm, draw 2, and you can just warp your Cat Blow out of hand, essentially putting your stuff into the into your warp for free so that you can use Goku. Next up, we're getting to some of the more techie cards. I run 2 Koitsukai on the deck in the main board, just because, like I said, best of 1 without sides right now at the local. We haven't worked our way into with sides yet. This card would be Isekai Keeping Watch, but I just like having both in the deck. And right now, like I said, without being able to play with the best of 1 with sides, I'd rather just keep this in my main than just keep 4 of these. But honestly, this card is great in your main because you'll be on color and it's a cantrip at all times. Next up, Baby Golden Avenger. Kind of just don't see blue getting played without this card no more. Card's fantastic, especially if you can get the -5 off on the Baby Unison. What this guy does is he's a counter, so this will stop your opponent from stopping you. This guy will come into play. He's a 30k triple striker, and then auto, when this card is played, you draw a card and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards ignoring barrier and place it at the bottom of the deck. This card is going to allow you for some board removal and also give you that 30k pressure. And also, if you can bait your opponent into a negate before swinging with your leader, this guy essentially only costs 2. Next up, we run 1 Android 17. This is like supposed to be the de facto win con for the deck. If you get the turn 7, you slap this down and you essentially just win that turn. That's kind of restricted to if your opponent's like at a certain amount of life. Honestly, if you don't got it, you don't got it. Don't pay 7 for this if you can't win. Card's great, but also now that we are in best of 1 with sides, always be weary of the Jiren. That's also why Baby's really good, because if your opponent lets you actually get the -5 off and you play this, if your opponent decides to use the Jiren, you can just discard 2 and use Baby Golden Avenger, counter, you get both of these cards into play, and then both of you guys will get no hand. So that's kind of, yeah, Android 17 is kind of iffy right now with the best of 1 with siding. Furthering Destruction Champa, it's just Champa. You play this in every single deck. Don't play Dragon Ball if you don't plan on playing this in your deck. And then the secret rare for the deck, Baby Hatch. You just don't play blue unless this is your choice. Just be careful, because if you're playing yellow and they have 3 energy up and you plan on using Baby Hatch, you will more than likely fall into a counter. So make sure that if you plan on using Hatch on a turn, like let's say you know what turn they're going to start pushing, you got to be prepared and leave 5 energy up for Baby so that you can counter their counter, so that you can cast this for free. They'll go to counter, you'll activate this, and then this effect will still go through, and then you also get this effect. So with that being said, this is the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you're thinking. Like I said in the comments, to the few people who asked to see the profile that I was playing that day, I did throw this together 30 minutes before I went to the locals, and this is not a de facto blue-red list. This is not like the best list at all for it. This is just what I was playing with that week. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. Make sure that if you guys enjoyed the profile, you leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week. See ya.